Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Life and Lessons. I hope you are doing well. So in today's video, I will talk about how to approach and how to study for semester 1 DSCC English major paper under CU, Calcutta University. So Calcutta University's DSCC English major paper that I'm going to talk about how to study and how to approach and how to prepare for the exams semester 1. So before starting to study something, you basically have to understand the syllabus, what's there in your syllabus. So as you all know that for the semester 1 students, you have history of English literature, poetry. So you have to study history of English literature focusing on the major poets of all the ages starting from Elizabethan to the postmodern age. This is your syllabus. Now how to study, how to make notes, what all to study, that we will be discussing in today's video in detail. First thing is you have to make notes of the authors. Okay, before that, as I always say, before starting to study and dive deep into the history of English literature part, you have to first understand the socio-political background of all the ages. You have to have a basic idea of what happened in each of the ages and how did the literature proceeded, what were the changes, everything you have to know. Okay, you may not know everything in detail right now, but at least try to gain a basic idea regarding each age. Okay, with the basic things that happened in each age, the socio-political background, what was there, what kind of literature used to be there in a particular age, everything. You have to first gain an idea of that. Then come to the author's part. Okay. So you have to pick the major and the minor authors from all the ages and make notes on them. So how to do that? Now, how to classify the major and the minor authors, that your college will be telling you. Okay, the professors will teach you who are the major authors and who are the minor authors. So depending on that, you have to make notes. For the major authors, you have to make long notes for 15 to 20 marks. Okay, and for the minor authors, you have to make short notes for 5 marks. This is how the authors are classified. And for how to understand who are the minor authors and who are the major authors, I'll make a separate video on that where I'll be talking about who are the minor and the major authors from each of the periods. Okay, so that you get a better clarity. Now coming to the next thing, how to make the notes of the author. So the first thing is that you have to talk about their life, read their life first. Okay, their background, their childhood, and you don't have to put everything in detail regarding their life in your note, just put the important points and that will do. After writing about their life, you have to write about their works. Okay, the major and the minor works. So for the major works, basically you have to remember their dates. If you can remember, then it's fine, otherwise it's also fine if you can't remember that. But at least make sure that you put their lifespan, that you must remember the author's lifespan. Okay, so after writing down their life and their works, major and the minor works, then come to the literary characteristics of the author, like how was their writing style basically. Don't have to add so many points, you will find them in the books of Edward Albert and William J. Long, but don't have to put all of them, but make sure that you do at least 5 to 6 of the literary characteristics that they used to have. Okay, so after completing this history of English literature part, after completing the author's life, works, the literary characteristics, come to the poems. Poems आपकी syllabus में 5 to 6 poems है, जिसमें से 3 questions you have to attend in your exam. Right. In that case, you can leave the 2 poems. If there are 5 poems, you can just leave the 2 poems and just do the 3 poems. That will also do. But make sure that you study them very properly so that you don't get confused during the exam. So poems की note आप कैसे बनाओगे? Let's talk about that. So while making the notes of a poem, you have to keep these points in your note, like summary, analysis, theme, symbolism, inner meaning or literal meaning, imageries, etc. These are the basic points, main points which you must write in your notes of poems. Besides this, there might be a lot of other things available in Google or other sources. You can add them, but these are the main things which you have to provide in your note. Now from what from where will you write the note? The materials provided by your college, you will take that, and you will take some websites, various sources from Google, and then you have to like read all of them and make your own note. Like what I'm trying to say is that don't blindly copy from a particular note or a particular website. You just collect 3 to 4 sources and then study them, understand them, and then pick the important points and make your own note. This is how you're going to study your poem. So this is how you're going to prepare for your DSCC English major paper. Now let's recap what are the points I said. So the first thing is you have to understand the socio-political background very properly, so as to gain a basic idea, basic understanding of all the ages. Then from the Elizabethan age to the postmodern age, you have to make notes of the authors, both minor and major. For the minor authors, you have to make notes for 5 marks. For the major authors, you have to make notes for 15 to 20 marks. Okay. Uh, Depending on the marks, you have to make notes. Then how to make the notes? You have to put their life, the main main elements, major elements from their life, important points from their life, then their works, all the works, both major and minor works, and then the literary characteristics of the poets. This is how you're going to make the notes. And then coming to the next thing, that is study the famous works of all the periods. Okay, as I said that you have to make notes on the famous works of all the periods. For example, Absalom and Achitophel, that is a major work, you have to make note on that. So try to identify what all the major works are. Depending on that, you have to make notes, okay, for 5 marks. Then the third point is select the poems you want to study. After selecting the poems you want to study, you have to make notes on that. So how will you make note? From various sources available, collect the data, collect everything, the important points there, and then make your note, own note, okay, where you will mention summary, analysis, themes, symbolism, inner meaning, literal meaning, imageries, etc. And some other important points if available. Okay, so this is how you're going to prepare for your DSCC English Major Semester 1 examination under Calcutta University. So if you have any queries, feel free to ask me in the comment section. Bye.